Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
How's your day going?
Going good, thank you, yes.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Really, guys?
What? Jackson's always had this game right.
Let's go!
It's the all-wheel drive event at Lithia Ford of Boise. From hunting trips to ski trips to trips to Grandma's house. Nobody does AWD like LFB. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Bronco Nation? Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to a live, fresh edition of Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains. I'm back from Vegas. Got the new hat from Circa. Thank you to the crew there for a fun couple of days. But back at it. We got some football to discuss, some basketball. We got a game tomorrow night. And, of course, on Thursdays, Johnny Ball Game. Host of Prater in the Ball Game. Weekdays 3 to 6. They're on KTIK 95.3. The Ticket, nice enough to brave the fog and the inversion and the traffic today to join us. How we doing?
Yeah, it was an interesting commute for all those I-84, let's see, what is that, eastbound folks. I'm one of you. It was a little wet, a little slick, a little slow, but we all made it. Good to go. Not too many accidents on the road. Hope everybody's okay, but I'm fired up and ready to talk some ball with you, BJ. A lot going on.
Yep, no doubt. We are in the, or I at least am in the Sun Cruiser studios here in Meridian. Sun Cruiser, make sure you grab a Sun Cruiser, perfect golfing beverage, evening beverage, those iced tea vodkas, the lemonade vodkas. We appreciate Sun Cruiser. And as always, Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. Jim Sturkin Company, 2026, our title sponsor. We appreciate them. They got some great deals right now. Check out Lithia Ford of Boise online at lithiafordboise.com. All right, Johnny, as I mentioned, back from Vegas, all kinds of discussion about the basketball team, about the 4-game losing streak. We got Chris Petersen going into the College Football Hall of Fame. And also, as part of that discussion, Kellen Moore, again, not voted into the College Football Hall of Fame. You got transfer portal updates continuing for the football team. What Sadie Hawkins for you, Johnny? I'll give you the first choice here. What do you think's the lead story today?
I mean, Chris Petersen's pretty cool. I don't know if it's still the lead story. You know, it broke yesterday at noon-ish, BJ, but just kind of putting it all together. This is the first, coach for Boise State to go into the College Football Hall of Fame. This is the most prestigious College Football Hall of Fame that exists. So it's nice for Chris Petersen to get in there. I believe on the first ballot. I know it's different for coaches, but to say Chris Petersen should, now is, because he should have been all along a first ballot College Football Hall of Fame coach, not just for his record, BJ, but I think for his cementing and what he was able to do offensively, the numbers they were able to put up. I mean, he helped one of those central figures kind of at the turn of the millennium there, BJ, that had new ideas and concepts for football, made it really hard to defend in kind of the era of the skyrocketing statistical numbers. Chris Petersen was on the ground floor of that stuff. And then he went to Washington after the success he had at Boise State and had tremendous amount of success up at Montlake. He won 2 Pac-12 titles. They weren't even contending for Pac-12
made the playoff, yeah.
Before he showed up. Yeah, he took him to the CFP. Man, look at what was it, 20-something players drafted in a short period of time? I mean, he's Chris Petersen, man, and he deserves to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. I wonder if anybody is interested. Prater was saying the ceremony at the Bellagio or something in Vegas, so I know BNN will be there.
Might
if
have
it's
to.
in Las Vegas.
December 8th.
Where the ceremony
8th, might have to.
Yeah, so there might be a lot of other members of Bronco Nation to go down there. Now, they missed the golden opportunity. You could have just you could have killed 2 birds with 1 stone and let Kellen be a part of that too, and have Chris Petersen and his most influential player, I'm sure he would say, Kellen Moore, go in with him, and that would have been magical for Boise, Idaho. But again, you'll get another different celebration when Kellen gets in.
Yeah, and we'll get to the Kellen discussion in a second, but Chris Petersen, I didn't realize this, Johnny, the first coach to win the Paul Bear Bryant Coach of the Year award twice during his career. He did it in 2006 and 2009. Was the unanimous winner of the Bobby Dodd Coach of the Year award in 2010. All kinds of other awards and honors, as you said. 92-12, man. I always go back to that. 92-12. Just incredible what he did at Boise State. And like you said, kept that, really took him to the next level. And then, it was obviously kept on by some of the coaches after him. But 8 years, incredible. And 147-38 overall. So you mentioned the 2014 to 2019 years at Washington, 79.5. His final game of his career against Boise State in that Vegas Bowl when they just handed it to Boise State pretty badly in that game. And it's kind of cool the way it worked out for Coach Pete, that his final game was against Boise State, and just kind of a cool deal there, and well-deserved. And I almost tried to get him on today, Johnny, because he owes me an interview. I reached out to him before the last bowl game, Washington and Boise State, and I blame you and Prater because once he went on your guys' show, then he started getting all these calls and all these comments, and he said, you know what, I shouldn't have even done that show, but he likes you guys, and he said, I'm going to take the rest of the week off and not say something I'm going to regret, and he said, but I owe you an interview, so he did say that he'd be happy to come on, at some point, just not when it was game week, and so I should have used that card today. I didn't think but we'll find a time here soon to get Chris Petersen on, but he did say he owes me an interview. But good for him. Congrats. Awesome. Well-deserved. First coach at Boise State to make the College Football Hall of Fame. Joins Randy Troutman, as most people on this show know, is the only player in the Boise State Hall of Fame. And yeah, as Brent Chapman says, bigger story. Chris Petersen in or Kellen left out. And I'll say this, Johnny, it shouldn't be like this, but a lot of times, like, because Kellen Moore is now an NFL head coach and he's more in the news and more out there and more, I guess you could say well-known nationally now that he's an NFL head coach.
For sure.
A lot of times that leads to stuff like this. You see some of these broadcasters that had average MLB, great MLB careers, but I'm not sure if they're quite Hall of Famers, and all of a sudden now they're a broadcaster and then they're getting put back in their Hall of Fame and all this. Like, I really thought this was going to be the year for Kellen just because of I hate to say it, but because of the NFL head coaching part of it, and didn't happen. It's going to happen here at some point. No disrespect to, I know everyone's talking about Jordan Lynch and looking at some of those numbers, Northern Illinois quarterback. I mean, he'll get in at some point, I would think, but it is crazy. I mean, I don't know if it's the Boise State stigma or why, because the numbers obviously speak for themselves. One of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time, the winningest college quarterback of all time. But for whatever reason, hasn't gotten the call yet, but,
it wasn't just the wins. He wasn't a winner. He's a gamer. He's a winner. No, he was a scientist. He was a lab rat. Yeah, he was a winner because he dissected everything you wanted to do. Listen to Gary Patterson talk about trying to defend Kellen Moore at the collegiate level. It was like advanced placement stuff. And I mean, I thought maybe it was the G5 thing. Okay, even though he was 6-0 against Power 4 schools, I believe that was the number. But then Jordan Lynch gets in. Like, okay, well, maybe it wasn't a small school thing because Kellen's WAC was better than Jordan Lynch's MAC. It was. Go back and look. The WAC had another team, Hawaii, play in a BCS game. They had a team, Colin Kaepernick, that was a top 10 team in America. And then they had the Boise State Petersen dynasty. The MAC didn't have anything close over that time. Jordan Lynch, bless his heart, but he was a 2-year starter, terrific 2-year starter at that. He had a year where he ran for 1,500 and threw for 3,000. That's why he's in, and that is eye-popping stuff. But, I mean, Kellen also left college football second all-time in touchdown passes, I think third in yards, most in wins, in I mean, never lost a big game, really. It was unfortunate. They could have done that Boise State thing. I don't know why they didn't. Maybe the voters. I don't know how many thousands exist. Prater said all you have to do to vote on this thing is be a member of the National Football Foundation. To do so, go to their website, give them $30, and you have a vote. Is there any way that somehow just most of the voters were more aware of Jordan Lynch's badassery than Kellen's? I just find that
Probably
hard.
A lot of younger people that think it's cool to pay the $30 and sign up and get to vote. People like Mike Prater aren't going out of their way to pay just so they can vote for something like this. I'm guessing it's a lot of younger people that want to add it to the resume and maybe don't have as much of idea about who Kellen Moore was as a player.
Yeah, but those people have no clue who Jordan Lynch was. Kellen at least is coaching. Kellen was coordinating a Super Bowl champion last year. Saquon Barkley had one of the great running back seasons of all time under Kellen's leadership. Like, again, this is unsolved mystery stuff. Like, what is preventing Kellen from getting in? In the years past, you could say, well, hey, Tebow got in. Okay. Carson Palmer got in. All right. Alex Smith got in. Fine. But now you're throwing Jordan Lynch at him at Bronco Nation. Bronco Nation's getting pissed off on this. They want their chosen one, their prodigal son, their ultimate in the College Football Hall of Fame. Ashton Genty's not going to have this problem, I would hope.
Yeah, and maybe the people are like, well, shut up. You got Chris Petersen. All right, you only get one. You're Boise State. Like, I get it, but it's a vote. It's not a play. I know. I know. Kellen Moore should be in. It's crazy it's taken this long. I know Chris Petersen has said as much yesterday in some interviews that it's crazy that Kellen is not in before him. But good for Chris Petersen. Kellen Moore's day will certainly come here. And cool news. December, what was the date I saw? December 7th, I think, December 8th, something like that. December 8th in Las Vegas is the ceremony. And cool. And congratulations to Chris Petersen on going in the college football Hall of Fame. All right, Johnny, the basketball team, we got transfer portal news. Plenty to still discuss. 4-game losing streak as Boise State gets set to take on Colorado State tomorrow night. Do want to thank our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise. 0% APR for 60 months and 0 down right now from Lithia Ford of Boise. They got some great deals going on. Got to make way for some of those 2026s on the lot. So Lithia Ford of Boise. You can check them out online at lithiafordboise.com. Sun Cruiser. I'm getting a package from Sun Cruiser today, Johnny. I may be getting some stuff for the studio here to maybe help the Sun Cruiser studios be a little more Sun Cruiser-ish. We'll see. So real iced tea, real vodka, 4.5% alcohol, no carbonation, low carb, low calories. Perfect drink to sip on tomorrow night watching Boise State basketball. Sun Cruiser. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Hey, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. They got Pearson Carmichael. They got Natalie Pasco. They got multiple athletes on NIL deals. And we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest, that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check out Idaho Central Credit Union online, ICCU.com. Hey, today's the day, Johnny. Did you get your 75-cent fountain drink yet from Jackson's? The Broncos scored 75 points on Tuesday night. So 2 days later, that is today on a Thursday, you get any size fountain drink with your Let's Go Rewards app for just 75 cents from Jackson's. So download the Let's Go Rewards app if you don't have it. But when the Broncos score 75, you get a 75-cent fountain drink, and that is today from our friends at Jackson's, 75-cent fountain drink. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, the SOM Management Group, the Nicolason family, Steven, Stan, the whole crew there. We appreciate them for their support of BNN, and whether it's the breakfast quesadillas, the new crispy chicken strips, my kids just like the good old-fashioned cheesy roll-ups. There's something for everybody at Taco Bell. Online, TacoBellWorks.com is the website for the local management group. You can find out more information about them. We appreciate Taco Bell. And, of course, the Blue and Orange Store online at theblueandorangestore.com. You can go to their Boise State location down there at the Hall of Fame, get that customized basketball jersey, football jersey. They can make that in minutes for you. They've got over 14,000 hats on the hat wall out at the location at the Boise Town Square Mall. And, of course, you can order anywhere in the world online at theblueandorangestore.com. The best selection, the best prices, the new in-venue provider of Boise State merchandise is the Blue and Orange Store online at theblueandorangestore.com. All right, Johnny, let's go into the basketball team here. 4-game losing streak. They'll try to get things turned around tomorrow night. I thought there were some things that were improved the other night. The offense looked a little better. You finally got Andrew Meadow a little more aggressive, involved, and taking more shots. Some positive things to move forward on, but still another loss. Still too many turnovers and second chance points, and some of the effort and hustle plays that have been a problem still were a problem. But mixed bag the other night. Yeah, like I said, some building blocks if you're trying to find the positives, but overall not good enough. Overall, a 4th straight loss.
Is that how we expect the games to go against the mid to lower level teams in the league? Like, I still don't know. Like, were some of the things corrected, or was the play better because it wasn't against Utah State and it was against UNLV, and that some of the stuff that worked against UNLV will never work against Utah State or one of those teams? But you could also take me back to Dylan Andrews in and out, and then they go to the Viejas and they win. So it's like you can counter that argument easily with this team. And you can say, dude, they've done that. So don't say they can't, because they have. Okay, so maybe it wasn't that. Maybe they are turning a corner. Maybe something, I don't know, whatever. Maybe they're just playing better. And maybe it's as simple as having a better shooting percentage because they're getting better looks. Maybe that's it. Maybe the rebounding I can't speak for. That's weird that they're getting crashed on the glass like night in, like during this streak. I don't know what the number is, but it feels like vastly out-rebounded, BJ, at least the last couple of games.
They were the number 1 defensive rebounding team in America like 2 weeks ago. Now they're down to 13th. I mean, the rebounding has definitely struggled.
I don't know what's going on with the rebounding. That was a thriller. It was fun to watch. I don't know if the clutch factor is there when it needs to be, outside of a true fielder hitting one of the biggest shots. Could have been a season saver type of thing. That was such a big time, big money shot by fielder. And then they just ran out of gas in overtime and missed free throws at costly times. Like, you're a baseball guy, timely hits. Sometimes all you need is 4 hits to get a win. If they're set up and they're timely, you'll get runs out of them. Feels like Boise State doesn't get a lot of timely free throws or timely turnovers that go in their direction. Andrew Meadow was sensational, but then the 2 missed free throws, and he got his pocket picked in a very crucial situation. Like, you just don't see that very often in college basketball. Just blatantly just getting your pocket picked like that. You just don't. Like, I've never seen anybody go up to Andrew Meadow and just take the ball from him like that. Have you? Not that I can remember off the top of my head. And that was the biggest possession of the game. And some of the things there, they should have been able to win that game. You can say that about a lot of these games. And I think that the shooting needs to get better. This team just doesn't shoot well. You've done the numbers. I think they're 285th in America in team field goal percentage. It's probably going to be pretty hard to win if you have that stat line and you're not rebounding. Dominic Parolin, your leading rebounder on this team. Good for Dominic Parolin. Not good for the Boise State basketball team this season. Just feels like, to me right now, this feels like a mid-level Mountain West basketball team. I'm not crushing it. I'm not going out of my way to put anybody down. It's just, this is a mid. 6-7. Is that what you like to say with this team? Like, and maybe they get hot at the right time and they go to Vegas in March and they win a first game, get into that next day and maybe scare somebody a little bit like a San Diego State, because they have played well against them before. I don't know, but right now I just kind of see this as a mid-level basketball team. So is Colorado State, if not a little worse. So Friday should be pretty exciting, to be honest.
Yeah, and I don't want to say like I'm immune to it now, but like I didn't really like Tuesday just happened. It was like they lost in overtime. It kind of like didn't really surprise me. I could have seen it going either way. Like, it is what it is. Like, they're not going to the NCAA tournament unless they win 3 or 4 games down in March. So I don't want to say the rest of the season doesn't matter or I don't care, but it's just like, it is what it is. Like, this is just, teams have clunkers of a season. They happen. And this is 100%. One of them. They just, whatever reason, you have individual talent and it's just not coming together as a group. And sometimes, I mean, a lot of people are bringing up Nevada as the example this year, Johnny. I mean, Steve Alford just didn't forget how to coach last year. And last year they had a really good run. And last year they go 17-16. They go 8-12 in the Mountain West last year, and they lose, early in the conference tournament, and they're done. And it was just a rough year. And guess what? People were really upset with Alford. Is he on the hot seat? All this kind of talk there. And he comes back, and guess what? They're 4-2 in the league right now, and they're 12-5 overall and having a much better season. So, like, sometimes you just have a down year, and I'm not saying folks shouldn't watch or shouldn't care. I mean, you should still come support the team. A lot can happen. And like you said, like, there's a lot of individual talent on this team. Like, if they can get something, like, they're going to still beat somebody they shouldn't beat at some point this season. They have every, possibility. I mean, they were 20, 25 points worse than San Diego State for a good chunk of that game, but they were also 30 points better than San Diego State for a good chunk of that game. So, I mean, it is what it is. Every night's going to be kind of a crazy game. You don't know what to expect. They're going to lose some more games they probably shouldn't. Like, going to Wyoming on Tuesday, they're probably going to lose. Like, some of these home games, like, they're going to find some games they should win. But in the end, you're trying to continue to figure out the rotations, figure out the minutes, figure out what gives you the best chance to go on a run here and get the best seed you can before the conference tournament. And then, there's offseason discussions about the roster and players and making some significant changes, and whether that's to the coaching, assistant coaching staff, or whether that's to, I don't know what's coming down the line there, but I just, it happens. Sometimes it just doesn't fit. And for whatever reason, Johnny, I'm a little surprised because I really did think this team was going to, be better than it's been. But, and like you said, it's crazy if that shot goes in against San Diego State, what probably happens, because I don't think they lose to Grand Canyon. They might have still lost to Utah State, but I don't know if it would have been by 30. But it's just crazy how quickly this thing has turned, and now we're already talking about changes for next year.
Who you want back? Which players do you want back? Not just which players do you hope come back? No. Which players does this coaching staff decide that they don't want back? And the people that I really want to know that I would really love to hear from. If I could sneak into somebody's DMs or group chat, and BJ's probably a member of some of these group chats if we're really keeping it real on BNN, because that's what we do. But I want to know what the big supporters are feeling. I want to know I don't know if I can call them check writers anymore, but whatever the transaction folks are, and you know who they are, the big names with this basketball program who aren't happy that they paid for Dylan Anderson and it was a big ass miss at Arizona, who haven't been happy with some of the other moves. Like, I really want to know what those folks are thinking, because I think the Ravens owner, Steve Bisciotti, great dude. The other day they asked him, will Lamar Jackson have a say in your new head coach? And he said, absolutely, he'll have a say, but he has no power. You have no power to decide who I hire. I'll ask him. He can say, but no, my call. And that, I think, could sometimes apply to some of the people I'm talking about here too. Like, they have a lot of power in this thing because you need money to build a roster. Where are you getting that money from? Well, okay, that money's not just going to come and they're going to have a say and whatnot. So I want to know kind of where it is. And I think that community that I'm talking about is probably exactly kind of where you are. You're not going to be great every year in this landscape, especially if you're Boise State basketball. You're going to have down years, even though you might have the right talent. For whatever reason, it doesn't gel. For whatever reason, the ball goes freaking in and out on the last stinking play in a game that you really needed. All those factors. And okay, it's not the greatest season. You finish over 500. You go to the conference championship. I don't know if you want to play in any type of postseason tournament. Probably not. You want to get going with your roster.
This probably wouldn't be the year for that. No,
probably not. And it's okay. And then you move on, and then you regroup, and you get your butt back to the tournament next year with this thing. But that's what I would be interested, BJ, like the real shot callers in this town, where they are with this program.
They can't be happy. And I've talked to some that probably aren't happy, or I know aren't happy. But I mean, I also think you're right about the player money and all that kind of stuff. I mean, sometimes, like I said, the pieces just don't fit. And I know there's some frustration with Coach Rice and some of the, but I think some people forget, Johnny, they were in the championship game of the Mountain West tournament last year. They were Neat Clifford going off again from getting back to 4 straight NCAA tournaments. Like
Neat Clifford.
I know the 0-10 is easy to kind of harp on and say that, Leon, by the way, is only 0-5 in that. But I know that's kind of the easy thing when you say you want to change. And I know we've talked about the money and all that. I don't even think that should be a factor. I don't think if the buyout was 0, I don't think that should be a factor. But
Jeremiah will find money. He did it for Andy. He's still paying Andy, and that's not keeping anybody up in the middle of the night that they're still paying Andy Avalos. No,
but I'm saying I think the $4.7 million is a factor. I certainly do for a school that's got budget issues, but I don't think they're even thinking about that because they don't think they're even at that point where they need to consider that now. But you know what? If you have a rough year again next year, Johnny, I think those conversations would get a lot more serious. So you have a down year. It happens. Again, you just play out the season, see what happens, have fun, drink some Sun Cruisers, watch the games, come yell at the refs, have a good time.
Gosh, yeah. Have a burrito at Taco Bell.
There you go.
Download the app, and then I'll get something free probably too, some cinnamon twists.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll see what happens the next 2 months. I guess I would say people shouldn't be overly surprised, invested one way or the other. Come have a good time. If they lose, this ain't our year. They win, cool win, but they're still probably not going to,
or they turn it around, and you're like, damn, Leon figured it out. Damn, they're going to Drew Fielder constantly down low. Damn, okay, they're working.
If they win tomorrow night, on the postgame show, I'll be saying they're back. I mean, there's a path to an at-large if they win tomorrow night. No, I'm kidding.
No Palm, no numbers.
PJ, no, I haven't even checked. I haven't even checked the net ranking.
Okay, good.
I used to wake up and check the net rankings like before I got out of bed. I haven't checked that stuff in 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. It is it is what it is. So
maybe he comes back. You just got to win. And I think, like Leon said, what's the definition of insanity? We didn't see that in the loss against UNLV, at least. The offense did look different. I saw Drew Fielder have more than 2 looks on the block. Get that dude to look on the block. You want to get an open shot, wait for someone to double him. I'm surprised UNLV didn't double Fielder more. Maybe the scouting report and your personal friend over there, Farouk Manouche, he is going to double Drew Fielder this on Friday, if that's the case. Maybe you guys talked about that over dinner last night. I don't know, BJ, you and your buddy.
That guy hit the shot. If I see that guy around town, man, I don't get me started on that guy. If anybody remembers, Ali Farouk Nimesh hit the shot for Northern Iowa to knock Kansas out of the NCAA tournament one year. It went from the stupidest shot in college basketball history to the greatest shot when it went in. So yeah,
he went to Pullman High School too, for briefly. His mom was the volleyball coach at Wazoo there, so we all knew about him in Moscow. I remember
How about that.
But anyway, then maybe you get some looks if someone's going to double down on Drew Fielder. Buchanan, same thing. Javen Buchanan has low post skills. He has guard skills outside.
You got to get him healthy now.
Skills inside. I don't even know if he's going to play, but I would like to see maybe an old school look there. They did some of that stuff, and maybe that will create better shots. But ultimately, let's go back to this: 43%. Factor in all shots, not free throws. That's what this team shoots this year, 43. And out of 365 D1 teams, as last I looked yesterday, it might have switched a point or two, but they're 285 out of 365 at shooting. So they just got to find out a way to put the ball in the hole better. And to do that, you get better shots. You've said this a bunch. There's not a lot of easy layups with this team. They don't get a lot of gimmies here. So maybe that'll change. Friday night, Colorado State, 8:30, BJ.
Yeah. No, I mean, the numbers are not good. You can go down the line. The effective field goal percentage at Ken Pom is 270th. The offense overall is 125th, but they're outside the top 200 in turnover percentage. They're only 186th in offensive rebounding. They shoot 246th in the country in three-point percentage. So you say, Johnny, okay, well, if they struggle to shoot the three, 246th, they must at least be good from inside the arc. Nope, they're even worse, 266th in the country at 2-point percentage as well. So the big one for me is block percentage too. I mean, you saw some of those blocks, and I know UNLV has some big guys, but they get a lot of shots. They go in there and just get blocked or rejected in badly, and they're 285th. 11% of the shots they take, like 1 in 9 shots they take gets blocked, which is kind of crazy. I don't know, it's just kind of a random stat or what, but they get a lot of shots blocked.
They're not a super athletic team. Maybe that's it. They don't block shots either, but that's philosophical. If you leave your feet playing defense for them, that's your ass, man. So they don't get a lot of block shots defensively just because they train their players. Don't leave your feet. We don't care about you trying to block a shot. Let's just play good defense and take care of it that way. But yeah, they don't. I mean, Peanut had the 2 or 3 blocks in a row, the 2 there.
Oh my gosh.
That was tough, man. I appreciate Peanut's aggression though. I like the fact that he's the one guy I know that when he gets the ball, he's going to look to score and he's going to look to make something happen. He's not just going to look for who else I need to pass the ball to because I'm not going to shoot on this team. I don't shoot on this team, that type of thing. More on. Yeah.
They just got to get healthy too. I know even Peanut was dealing with I think a calf injury or something. And I heard he was even questionable to play in that game and push through it. He played, obviously, Javen Buchanan didn't play. It's not an excuse. It's a fact. He's one of their best players, and he didn't play in a conference road game. Like
you probably played.
Take out one of the 2 or 3 best players on a lot of teams in this league and put him on the road in conference play, and it's a lot harder to win. Like it just is. So, like I said, I'm not really making excuses because they're not really going anywhere.
To the issues of this team this year, right? Why it's just a clunker of a year. All that stuff adds to it. I'm with you.
You just like I said. You should care. You should go to the games, have a good time. But the just going crazy on the coaches and players and everything else, like just doesn't. It ain't happening this year. So just mentally be prepared for that and see what happens and get ready for March. Like this team has a lot of individual talent. Like you're going to call me crazy, Johnny, but like, would it really shock you if somehow it all starts clicking and like late in the season and they go down to Vegas and win some games? Like they've got talent. They've got talent. It just hasn't clicked. And who knows, maybe it does click in March. And, wouldn't it be kind of fitting if of all the teams that they've lost in the tournament with and all the seasons they've had, if this was the one that somehow got hot and won the tournament and went and won one of the worst seasons and everybody, and then it ends up being the best season. Like, who knows? I still think it's with the losing to Hawaii Pacific in the first game, that it would be kind of fitting if they were able to somehow go on some magical run. But worry about that in March. Right now, just try to win as many games as you can, get some confidence going. And I agree on Drew Fielder. I mean, somebody put it in the chat, like his aggressiveness. He still misses too many just point-blank bunnies right at the rim. I mean, he misses a lot of 2 or 3 footers. But
those are hard though. But
yeah,
I get.
But he's been, he hit that huge 3-pointer to tie the game. He's been playing much better. And like I said, Meadow. Somebody said it might have been Kane, and the ball sticks a lot with Meadow and Carmichael. But like those are guys you want shooting. You want those guys shooting. Andrew Meadow only took 4 shots, in a couple games earlier this year.
If Dominic Parolin or RJ Keene or another player on the offense gets the ball, basically all they're doing is waiting to get somebody else the ball. And then that's when you get in these lollygag, I don't even know the term, this pass and handoff and rotation, this ring around the rosy thing. And all of a sudden there's 7 seconds left on the shot clock and you're begging for Andrew Meadow to have the ball. Yeah. He has the ball 20 seconds earlier and he got aggressive with it. You wanted him to do what? To find Dominic Parolin on the top of the key? They need their best players, I think, to be more aggressive. This team doesn't have the Max Rice. You don't have to worry about anybody chucking up all those shots with this team, right? Max would do that. He didn't give a crap if they lost and it was on him because he shot 28% that game. There was more street fight in some of those other teams, I think, than this. And maybe that is because this team is new. They haven't been together for years and years. They're new. They're not homeboys exactly yet. They're not that tight yet. And that's almost.
No, but I mean, there's other teams like Utah State that have 3 of their top 4 scorers were transfers, and they're able to put it together after not playing with each other before. I mean, it goes both ways. Boise basketball likes being average to below average. Football coach with this record wouldn't last, Dylan Hulley says. Well, that's because you're a football school. You're not a basketball school.
What? You can't. Come on, Dylan. This is a football school. And it's not all even Steven here. No, it's football rules. And it always
He's also the coach with the winningest record in program history. So would Chris Petersen be? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the winningest coach in program history.
Apples is football.
Yes.
Oranges is basketball. We can't hold them on the same standards, man. Football's different here, and that's where the resources are put and spent. And that's where most of them.
And I really don't want to. I really don't want to get into this today, Johnny. I don't really want to spend the whole time talking about Leon Rice's job security, but I will say, like, this guy, he replied, "Rip the Band-Aid off." TikTok, Leon. Again, unless you have, I said this on Twitter, and a lot of people rip me for it, but like he's owed $4.7 million, folks. Like, that's a lot of money for a program that doesn't have enough in NIL and doesn't have enough of any. Like, Boise State is not a school that can afford to spend $4.7 million to get rid of their coach and then another $1 million to hire a decent coach for basketball. You just can't. So it's not worth the time unless you're Matt Bauscher or Travis Hawks or one of these guys that literally could hand over the $4.7 million.
There's a lot of houses to sell there. Ask him Bausch on that. Like, yes. No, does he mean now? Like, no, fire him now? No. Or does he mean at the end of the year when everything should be on the table? I'm okay with that. At the end of the year, Jeremiah does what he does, and he sits down with every coach, and he assesses the program, where we want to be, where we are. Can we get there? And he makes that call. And
it ain't happening. No, now or after the season doesn't matter. I'm talking after the season. I don't. Yeah. Like I said, you want to make changes to your assistant coaching staff. You want to do some different things. That's fine. But this athletic department does not have $4.7 million to switch basketball coaches right now. They just don't. They have NIL such a big deal, rev sharing such a big deal. The football program, it's a football school. It is. So you can be frustrated with what you're seeing. The 0-10. I get all that. You can be as frustrated as you want, but I just for this university right now, everything's on the table in my opinion, except Leon Rice's job security. And that's not me defending him. That's not me carrying his water. I'm looking at facts. $4.7 million. This school can't, and I don't even put the money into it. I think that the winningest coach in program history deserves to have a down year. You have 2 down years next year. Yeah. Let's have that discussion. That's fine. But I believe that he gets an off season where you raise the heat a little bit and say things need to be better next year. Okay, let's see it. And then we'll see what happens. But right now, this season, like I said, they were one 40-minute game away from being in 4 straight NCAA tournaments. Yes, this year is not going well. It stinks. It hasn't worked, but I personally believe take the money out of it that Leon deserves a clunker of a year. And like I said, I don't know if you get 2. You got to get this thing turned around by next year. But I think he gets a chance this year to say, okay, we'll make some changes here. But
what are the
head coach ain't the problem. And then you throw in the money. You throw in the $4.7 million. I just don't think, because you're having to pay at least $1 million then to get a replacement coach, right? And so,
well, you get one of these young, hot gun, sexy studs that are infiltrating college basketball. I'm a fan of a lot of them.
Everybody wants Kobe Carl.
Yeah, or the Danny Sprinkles. You know, just you want these young names. Kobe Carl would be freaking awesome. Everybody knows that. He has the resume, no question. He knows everything. He would be terrific. And if I'm another school, if Kobe really wants to coach D1 NCAA men's basketball, he should have some other opportunities too. He loves living in Boise, though. You know that as well as I do. But no, maybe Kobe Carl is running your offense next year, or your defense, or your lead assistant, or your associate head coach in waiting. Maybe there are other stuff. Yes, everything is on the table at the end of the year. No, he's probably not, and he shouldn't fire Leon, BJ. I get you, but at the same time, you can't just completely say, oh, it's just a stinker. No problem here. Don't smell a thing. Jeremiah Dickey at least has to say, okay, what happened and what's happening? And we know he will.
No, I agree with that. I'm not saying you just chalk it up as like, oh, who cares? I mean, you care. You can be mad. You can be frustrated. You can want to see some changes, and there probably need to be some changes, but I just don't think that the head coaching position is where the changes will be, at least this offseason. But I guess we'll wait and see. All right, Boucher Real Estate. I want to end with the transfer portal here on the football side in a minute, Johnny. Matt Boucher, Boucher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Boucher and Boucher Real Estate. Check them out online at BoucherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com, 13 locations in the state of Idaho, surrounding states. Check them out. Download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off of the checkout line at shopridleys.com. 20% off your winter painting projects at roepaint.com, ROEpaint.com. Whether it's concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting, Andy Rowe and Company got you covered. Hit them up at roepaint.com. Transportation compliance service, transcompservice.com. Get into the trucking industry, folks. Transcompservice.com. If you're looking for a new job, fresh start, career change, local company helping out folks all over the world, you can sign up today. Transcompservice.com. Hey, Element Fencing, whether it's decks, pergolas, fences, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl, they can do it all. 25 plus years, family-owned company in the fencing business. We've appreciated working with them. Happy to have them on board as a sponsor here in 2026. All your fencing needs, make sure you hit up our friend Brady and Element Fencing. Again, online, elementfencing.com. And Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. You can check them out, whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection. Signature Roofing, the official roofer of Bronco Nation News, online at mysignatureroofing.com. And they remind you to leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/BNN, speakpipe.com/BNN, and we'll play those voicemails on a upcoming Bronco Nation News broadcast. Hopefully you checked out last night's Another Night in the Mountain West. Tom Moser, tremendous job last night. Went an hour plus. He gave his thoughts on Leon Rice, his thoughts on where Boise State's at on a 4-game losing streak from a unbiased, kind of neutral perspective. Good stuff. Go back and listen to the show, and please follow our new YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@Mountain West BNN. And we're raising that channel up to cover kind of all of the Mountain West. We got some big plans with that, moving into the Pac-12 as well. So another night in the Mountain West. After every night that there's Mountain West games, Tom pops on, gives his thoughts. Great show last night. San Diego State getting a big win. Utah State getting a big win. And you can hear Tom's thoughts again on those games and on Boise State online at our new YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Mountain West BNN. All right, Johnny, somebody in the chat here said that they're not happy with the transfer portal for the football team. I'll try to go up and find it, but not liking what they're doing. I haven't heard too much of that. I think a lot of people are liking what they're doing. They're hitting the positions of need here. A lot of these are just names on paper. We don't really know until they get in here, Johnny, what they're going to look like. They're obviously taking the approach that a lot of people wanted them to do. The FCS, the JUCO, that the guys that maybe don't need the NIL money and are looking for an opportunity to play Division I. And I mean, there's different ways you can approach this, but they've gotten, some backup players at a Kansas, so to speak, or some schools like that. But for the most part, they're getting guys that have production, but it's at, De Anza College or Coffeyville or all these kind of smaller schools What do you make of what they've done in the portal and addressing their needs? I'd like to see more offensive linemen. Offensive line for me was a big. Here's what one of the comments: I'm genuinely worried about our football team this coming year. And then he said he didn't like what he saw in the portal, I think, in the next comment. But where are you at with the strategy they've had? And I mean, they've added a lot of guys, Johnny. They're over a dozen, I think, now in additions in the portal. I mean, this is going to be the most portal additions they've had since this kind of portal era. I mean, they're trying to make some serious changes, upgrades, whatever you want to say, to the roster. What's your take on what the football team's doing in the portal?
I like it. Boise State, this is, self-awareness. We don't have the money, and the prestige isn't a big enough thing anymore to maybe be able to get some of the higher priced, whatever type of talent. So we're going to have to go find it, just like we used to do. Just like we used to do 25 years ago, where we brought kids in that nobody else wanted, and all of a sudden we wanted a historical pace. Probably not going to be able to do that again, but you're going to try for it. A couple of the things, like Jason Eck, I was talking to him on the Westwood One show that I'm doing a couple of weeks ago, BJ, and he flat out told me some of the numbers that he paid. He said he gave at New Mexico, they found a kid and they offered him $20,000, and he ended up playing all conference level play for them. And they had another kid where they got for $15,000. Now he left somewhere and he's getting $200,000. Like those players are there, but you have to have baseball scouts. Used to be called Ivory Hunters. Ivory Hunters came to Weiser, Idaho, and found Walter Johnson. Like, you need Ivory Hunters, man, and you need to be able to find guys who will come and play for $20,000 and be all league, because they exist. Jason Eck had multiple guys. They were paying dudes $20,000 for the year, and they were coming and they won how many games? 9? You can find them. So I like some of these guys. The wide receiver from De Anza College, I've talked to a couple of nerds I know that follow JC Ball. That dude is legit, man. He's really good.
Is he your new guy? Chris Marshall's gone. He's going to be your new guy here?
He doesn't know, because he's freaking 6 feet, and that's probably exaggerated. And he's freaking 170, and that's probably exaggerated. He's probably 5'10", 165. Chris Marshall's a brick effing shithouse. I love him. Sorry, BJ, but he's a brick outhouse. That's why I love Chris Marshall. They just don't build him like that. Prince Strawn, that's why I loved him. They don't build him like that. I don't know if Wright is that, but you cannot argue his production in California JC. I know it's not the best, but it's also not the worst, man. A lot of people come from that Cal JC level, and they do really good things. Amarion McCoy went to, was it Laney? Had a really good 2-year run there. Akeem Wright, 23 touchdowns in 21 games. Like, that's high level stuff. Receivers aren't supposed to average more than a teeter a game. I don't care what level. So I'm intrigued with him at this receiving core. I think he's going to play a ton next year. And so I like that move. I don't want to break down every single other move I've seen from the portal, but I kind of like their strategy. Find the players that you can get for $50,000. They exist. And if they'll go to New Mexico for that and be all league, they will sure as hell come to Boise for that, because you would think. So they're out there. You just got to find them. And it's weird now. As a fan, you could sit there and say, yeah, this sucks, because it is tough to follow all these players. You don't know until you know, and they get here.
Did you really get Jason Eck on your first show? Why am I not surprised?
I did. Jason Eck's been on the national show. He's a hot name in coaching, and he gave me nuggets like that. I never heard a coach flat out tell you what they paid a player. Eck told me like 3 or 4 guys on national radio how much they were paying. That's big stuff, man.
That's why you're a national star now, Johnny. No, Bryson Beaver is not coming to Boise State. They already have 2 incoming freshmen. They don't need. He was committed before he went to Oregon.
All about the kid. Well, where's he going? $1 million?
I don't know, but someone's asking about Boise State. They already have 2 incoming freshmen. They're not taking 3. He had his chance and he decommitted, and they got somebody else. He's not coming back here at this point. Yes, we do read the Facebook comments, James. We just have about 100 comments coming in a minute, and sometimes some of them skip over us, and it is what it is. But, Johnny, what do we got Idaho Sports Talk today on a Thursday?
We got Chris Petersen live.
There you go. Good for you.
And I'm not trying to steal your Pete Thunder, but we have Chris Petersen.
I didn't reach out to him. I could have. I should have. Bad hosting on my part. He probably would have done it today too.
Right.
But,
he probably would have, and you would have beat Prater and Prater would have been.
You guys are the reason I didn't get him last time. He specifically said I told Prater yes, and I shouldn't have. So
and I felt bad. And now it's like, we got Pete. So we'll
good.
have Pete.
Good. Chris Petersen today from 3 to 6. Idaho Sports Talk. Prater in the ball game, 95.3 The Ticket. Make sure you're listening to them. Prater will be on tomorrow, a Friday edition on a game day. We'll get you set for the game tomorrow night against Colorado State. Basketball talk, football talk. We got you covered in the message boards at BroncoNationNews.com. You can sign up $5 a month right now for our VIP subscription. That ends tomorrow night when the transfer portal closes. So if you're on the fence, $5 a month, VIP subscription to BNN. Sign up now. And again, appreciate Sun Cruiser. Sun Cruiser Studios. Pick up a Sun Cruiser. And of course, Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. Have a great rest of your day. Listen today to Johnny and Prater at 3. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 with Prater. And if anything breaks, coaching-wise, transfer portal-wise, whatever, we'll get you covered. We do have basketball interviews today at 1:45, so we'll get Coach Rice. Hopefully a little better start to this week's presser than last week, Johnny, with Coach Rice on a non-game day press conference. But we'll talk to Coach Rice today, and we'll get that up on the YouTube channel, and we'll have you covered on the site, on the message boards as well. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, presented by Lithia Ford of Boise from the Sun Cruiser Studios, BroncoNationNews.com.